Okay, well, so we'll go to the worldwide world. You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
Ash and Zach are super smart. They went to college and learned a bunch of stuff. And Bo and Andrew didn't go to college because that's the way life goes sometimes. What happens when you put them together and you try to make them learn? Grab your friends, let's listen together on Get Dumped on an Info Dump podcast.
Welcome to Get Dumped On, an Infodump podcast. This is the podcast where four friends sit around, we tell each other things about the world, the way that it is, the way that it was, the way that we want it to be, and we have a good time, and sometimes we have a bad time, but it's still fun. So today we have a pretty special episode for our 30th. Oh, I should introduce everybody, if it's your first time listening. Hello, my name is Ash. I am joined here with Zach.
Hello.
Who is going to be telling us a few fun facts in a second. And then we have Andrew and Bo in that order.
Why does it go like Zach? It's like Zach first, and then you combine me and
Andrew. Because I like Zach the best.
I get that. I get that. But we're people too.
Zach, who do you like the best?
Yeah, Zach.
Bo.
It's Bo.
Thank you.
So when Zach introduces the podcast, he says you first, you know?
Hi, I'm Andrew. I'm here.
All right, I'll do the joke. I'm Andrew.
Oh, God.
To be fair, Andrew, you are the one who established the order of names when you wrote the theme song.
Yeah, but again,
that's true.
It's just it goes Zach. It goes, this is Zach, and then there's Bo and Andrew. Like, we're like second class citizens.
I mean, we are.
Class people.
Let's not kid ourselves.
Let me live in my fantasy land, please. We are not.
This episode, we haven't even said what it is yet.
I know. This is a great one. I love it.
For our 30th episode, we are going to talk about our top 5 favorite things from 30 years ago, the year 1993. So that's what we're...
30 years ago was 1970. You can't tell me otherwise.
Call back, previous episode.
30 years ago, 1993.
I don't listen to this original joke to me.
How old was each of us in 1993?
You first. Don't fucking shame me my age.
I was 5.
I was 3.
Or I turned 5 at the end.
Yeah,
of that year.
I turned 3.
I was 2.
I was 1.
Cool beans. So we're all over 30.
That was a fun little countdown.
Yeah.
We just need a guest who's in the middle because we had 5, then 3, 2, 1.
Justin.
Stop with your Justin obsession. Enough is enough.
He's so handsome.
Hi, Justin's mom.
Oh, Jesus
Hi, Justin's
Christ.
sister.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Oh,
Hi,
God.
Kevin.
Hi.
Okay, Zach, tell us a little bit about what it was like to
All
live
right.
in 1993.
Let's take it back. It's 1993. A 22-ounce loaf of white bread cost 79 cents, and Ritz
Jesus.
crackers were $1.99 for a 16-ounce box.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah, that seems like a lot, right? Expensive
I know,
crackers.
right? Like you'd think. I don't know. The thing that really fucks me up here is that a 2-liter bottle of Coke was 99 cents.
Wow. Truly a different time.
How much is a 2-liter now?
Bo, look it up.
Someone go on Instacart.
A 2-liter
Instacart's
bottle
got
of
that
Coke
markup.
at Walmart is $2.72.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Is your name Bo?
I was already doing it when he said that, so I wasn't going to stop just because he said Bo.
The federal minimum wage was $4.25, and the median household income was $31,230.
Jesus.
So, how much does everyone make now?
$600,000
Less than that.
every 2 weeks, actually.
And the median cost of a new home was $113,200.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ. As
That's
someone
wild.
who just bought a
Absolutely
new home,
wild.
and I know you guys just bought a new home, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
wild.
And so then $100 in 1993 is $211.55 now. Although now what I'm really curious about is if I type in the federal minimum wage into the inflation calculator, has the federal minimum wage kept up with inflation? Let's see.
Oh.
Nope, it has not. The current federal minimum
not
wage
surprising.
is, what is it? Is it $7.25 or $7.50 an hour? Right? The federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. And if the federal minimum wage had kept up with inflation from 1993, it should be $8.99 an hour. So thank
Wake up,
you to the
people.
people in our government.
Sheeple.
I mean, there's not a lot. Corporations own our government. It's fine.
Yeah, we need
Yeah,
more
it's
money than that. Listen, America. We need to talk.
Yeah, I would like more money.
We need money now. Money, please.
Stop giving it to the military.
Money, please.
I beg of you.
Keep giving it to the military because people like Justin.
They can. I'm not saying give nothing to the military. I'm just saying maybe
Justin,
just
if you're listening, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, God.
Thank you for your cervix.
Thank me for your service. Wait.
Oh, and so I don't really have memories of 1993, right? I was a very small baby child.
Yeah, pretty vaguely. There's like some stuff looking it up that like I could swear that I remember, but I was only
Zach,
3. So really,
when were
is it
you
just
wronged in 1993? Zach always remembers things when he was wronged, so I want to know what was he wronged by?
Hell have my theory like Zach scored.
So true, though.
My earliest memory of being wronged comes from kindergarten, and so I don't.
Post 1993.
Pretty close. Yeah, it's pretty close though.
I would have been in kindergarten in like what 95 or 96. What year? How old are you in kindergarten?
5 usually when you go to kindergarten.
Yeah,
I didn't go to kindergarten.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true at all.
Are you thinking of preschool?
I was just making shit up. I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, like 5. So no, I don't remember being wronged in 1993.
Andrew, do you remember things from kindergarten? Because if you were,
No.
were you in kindergarten in 1993?
I remember nothing. I remember nothing.
Just said that he
Again,
didn't go to kindergarten.
a lot of head trauma in my head from hitting hockey pucks in my face bucket helmet area.
Oh
So,
my God,
yeah,
we get it. You play hockey.
It's a lot of that's gone. And
Fucking
I'm okay
hockey
with it.
stud over here. It's the cost of doing business.
It was a bucket robbery of memories.
Throwback. And so today we've all prepared a list of 5 things that our top 5 favorite things from 1993. Is that what we're calling this?
Yeah.
Top 5 things of 1993. Yeah,
well,
that makes sense.
it's 20.
Personal top 5 things of 1993.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Insert
So
some might intertwine. Who knows? Let's listen and find out. Here we go.
there's got to be some amount of overlap between all.
Well, there's like I know there's one thing I chose that I was like, that's gonna get picked, so I chose something differently.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, I did the same thing, and I have honorable mentions.
Oh God, we're all gonna have like
I've got
obscure
honorable
things
mentions.
that are gonna be overlapping now.
Can I take a guess of like one thing?
Okay, but make your guess. Make your guess.
Okay.
My guess is one of us picked Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, big time.
No.
Okay, yeah. So
Big time.
Oh, okay. See, that's why I decided not to do Jurassic Park.
Okay. Well, hey, tell you what. Are we gonna do this one at a time each, or are we gonna go 5?
I think we're gonna go by group. We're all gonna
We'll
say
each
5.
do
We're all
our
gonna say
5.
4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is Jurassic Park? I assume somebody's 5.
It's not my 5.
Okay.
It's
well
not my
then,
5.
since
Oh,
Zach,
is Jurassic Park in it?
I mean, it obviously is, but okay. So,
Okay,
since let's go reverse order of names alphabetically. Zach, you start us first. What's
Okay,
your
so
number 5?
Okay.
There's 2 A's and a B, and it just goes all the opposite.
So yeah, all of mine are very much. I'm not. It's like this is like the classic disclaimer for our top 5, where this is just all my personal opinion, and I'm not going by
Yeah, that's why Bo said it's personal top 5 things from 1993. It's in the
personal
name.
top 5 things.
keep
Yeah.
up.
Okay. Okay. I don't need to.
Do you listen? Do you listen?
All right. My number 5. My top 5 number 5 thing from 1993 is the song "I Would Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That"
But I
by
won't do
Meatloaf.
that.
You know, I felt like you were going to put that on there, and I'm
So
glad that I was right.
It is one of my favorite songs. It's melodrama and cheese distilled into a 12-minute rock ballad. The Jim Steinman production is just phenomenal. It's a big chef's kiss all around. It's got this maximalist Wagnerian thing to it that I absolutely love. Meatloaf is a talented singer. And so I always find that I don't like the stuff that he put out during his years that he wasn't working with Jim Steinman, because like Jim Steinman produced his Bat Out of Hell album, and a few of his basically all of his good music has been produced by Jim Steinman, and everything else has not been that great. So like when the two of them are working together, it's phenomenal. And this is like the best thing that they did together. Everything's at level 11. It's a true achievement in modern camp. And like, I love this song. That's really all I got to say about it.
Can't argue with that.
Didn't Meatloaf die recently?
Yeah, he did. Andrew,
Meatloaf
like
did die
clips,
recently.
little sound clips of what stuff we say, like especially audio ones, like music or.
I don't want to get DCMA'd, so
Yeah,
no.
we're gonna.
I think you could do 30 seconds.
Tell you
is
what.
the free amount.
Tell you what. It's after this. If you want to go through the podcast and make a list of stuff and do it yourself, that's technically considered parody. So if you want to
Sure.
send me sound clips of you doing things, I'll gladly put them in there.
Okay. So I'll do it for you guys too. So I'm gonna sing my parody version. I won't do anything for love, but I won't do that.
All right,
Sure.
Bo, what do you got,
around.
Bo? What's your number 5? Or let's discuss. Would you put Zach's number 5 anywhere near your 5?
No.
Also, props to Lorraine Crosby for singing the female vocals and not being credited in the final track. Sorry.
Yeah,
That's fucked
credit
up.
your artists, bro.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. Well, he's dead, but son of a bitch.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. He got weird when he got old. I also saw him in concert when I was in high school, specifically because I was in such a really big Meatloaf phase at the time. I
also had a Meatloaf phase, but it was the food.
I
Who goes through a
legitimately
meatloaf phase?
Zach does.
I did. I actually joined his fan club so that I could have access to the pre-sale
God
for the
damn it.
tickets.
Whoa.
And I have never been more disappointed at a concert. It was terrible. It was really bad. It was awful. So
you were the only person I've ever met who's joined a fan club, like a real fan club. Two,
Yeah,
at least. There's 2 that I know of that you're a part of. This one and Bigfoot.
And the crazy thing is that I
yeah.
didn't even go by myself either. I went with 2 friends from high school who also were big into Meatloaf.
Bunch of loaf heads.
Bunch of loaf
You
heads.
guys are called?
Meatheads?
What do you call a group?
Yeah, meatheads.
Meatheads. Oh yeah. What do you call a
We-
group of meatloafs?
Meat leaf?
Meat
Loaf-
slow.
Leaf eyes.
Meat loffins?
But I
Yeah.
remember we split the cost of entry
Medium,
to the fan
rare.
club.
No,
Oh.
if you eat meatloaf medium rare, you get salmonella. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, let's we got to move on to somebody else's top 5. Bo,
what do you
tell
got?
us.
I have no particular order, so I'm just gonna throw
I
stuff out there.
I'm going to say that too, just a heads up.
Yeah,
I'm so
I don't-
disappointed in all of you.
stuff. It's like it's like asking me to pick my favorite child. It's my daughter, but
Your son's got to listen to this one day.
I do have an order. Number 1 is the only one that is number 1.
Okay, fine. That's
Every other
fine.
one is like number 1 and then 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That's
I'm
what
fine.
I have.
Whatever. Bo, hit
My
us.
number 1 is very number 1.
okay. So this will probably be one of my fondest memories of video game history growing up. The release of NBA Jam on the Super
Ooh.
Nintendo.
Ah, cool.
And with coming up
Awesome.
with oh, he's on fire watching that net burn, and then hearing
Mhm.
boom shakalaka.
How
That
the
was
theme sounded that
awesome.
one had like a rippin' main menu theme, didn't it?
I can't
How
wait.
did it
I
go?
can't wait to hear
Yeah.
Bo do it.
Yeah.
Wait until after the episode. We'll do the post credits.
I remember that game though. That game was fantastic. I remember like Bo, you said like he's on fire, and you like jump from the halfway point. Like it's like
Oh,
this
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
what basketball is, but it was really cool.
But it's what
professional
basketball
people-
could
And
be.
the funny thing is, Michael Jordan wasn't in the game because he didn't give out his likeness. It was great. So it was Scottie Pippen and someone else too.
it was Jekyll Morden. It was
Jekyll Morden. Oh, good old Jekyll
I
Morden.
love Jekyll Morden.
so I'm next technically,
Yeah,
alphabetically.
I guess. Yeah.
I had to do math in my
No,
head, and
Ash
by math I
is
mean letters.
LMNOPQRS. So Ash is next.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, hey, what's up?
I did the wrong one.
Wow.
Ash, what's up?
Yeah. Ash is
Yeah, see.
A little known thing called the World Wide Web was released into the public domain. It's the internet, baby.
And the world became immediately worse.
The world. It was.
The downfall of society started in 1993.
It essentially allowed you to download something new called a browser and visit websites. You can even build your own. You can send your friends these things called hyperlinks, and it'll take them to a web page. And
Holy cow.
from looking into it, it was a company called CERN, I think. And most people, like in 1993
An
at
Al Gore
least,
joint.
thought that it was like a fancy thing for fancy tech people. Like only like tech people were excited about it in 1993. But by the end of 1995, more than 24 million people in the US and Canada spent an average of 5 hours per week on the internet.
CERN is the scientist group that made the Large Hadron Collider too, right? Like,
Yep.
like
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah.
CERN has done crazy shit.
Someone check that.
Oh, wild.
Someone check
wild.
that. So I just looked this up because Ash, with this whole, public
Are you
domain internet
fact-check-
thing,
Are you fact checking this?
Can't believe you fact checked me.
I looked up how long it took for people to use it for porn. 3 years. 1996.
Not surprised. I'm surprised it
I'm
took that
surprised
long,
it took
honestly.
so long. Yeah.
It says sex.com was the first. It was
Wow.
1996.
What a great
Creative.
domain.
Amazing.
Honestly, if you're going to get one, straight to the point. Sex.com.
Yeah.
And now I can't imagine my life without the internet for so many reasons other than sex.com. It runs everything everywhere.
Shout out to sex.com.
I like sex.gov.
Sex.gov.
Get that tattooed on my arm.
Oh, man.
So yeah, the internet. 1993, 30 years of the internet.
Okay, that's great. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
Andrew?
pick. Number 5 for me. Again, no order other than 1 and the rest. Here we go. In 1993, a little known network. I'm just kidding. It's huge now. The Food Network premiered.
Hey.
And I got to say, the amount of Food Network shows that I have watched in the last 30 years is staggering. Guys, grocery games,
Absolutely
supermarket
staggering.
sweep, Unwrapped, Good Eats. Come on.
I'm going to kick
That's
off.
some good shit.
I'm going to kick off the 4th round because my number 4 is the Food Network.
Yay, yay!
Oh, we're doubling down.
One of the original Food Network stars was Rudy Giuliani's wife.
Oh, I don't like that.
She was her own person. Is
it ex-wife?
I don't remember.
I mean,
I honestly
I'm
don't
guessing.
know. I think so.
I'm guessing ex-wife.
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Good
think
decision.
about like, is there like, there's no counting the amount of times I have watched the Food Network. Just last night, Zach and I were watching Worst Cooks in America Celebrity Edition.
Mhm.
What? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's wild.
Dude, the amount of
The Office is
Unwrapped
in it.
that I watched was so much.
Fucking Chopped.
And Good Eats. Chopped. Oh, Chopped
God,
is so
ate
good.
So much. I watched so much Good Eats. back in the
Cutthroat
day.
Kitchen, where they make people bake on like kids' toys. Dude, it's amazing.
Oh my gosh, yes. Throwing it back old style. Emerald Lagasse live.
Bam.
Bam, baby.
Bamming it up.
Bam.
Yeah, the Food Network.
My high school girlfriend, her dad kind of looked like Emerald, and he was
What's her name?
And
What's his
he was
name?
always like making Emerald references.
Schmemerald?
He would like bam, and then he was always playing up how much he looked like Emerald. It was pretty funny.
Bam.
Remember when, like, before the internet, when your whole identity could be, hey, I look like this person?
Yeah.
I mean, even with the internet, it still can be.
No,
There's somebody
yeah, you're
who,
right.
like, there's a Taylor Swift impersonator that's like her, like, whole job, I think.
That's super weird.
Yeah. And there is that Kid Rock impersonator who fleeced your friend's dad out
That's
of $10,000.
everyone from Alabama. Everyone. I'm just kidding.
But he's from
Oh, man.
Michigan.
Well, okay, so since that was Ash's number 4 as well, Zach, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is the beginning of hippos living in Colombia. This is my historical event. So my top 5 is one each of different things that happened. And so this is my historical event. This is, you know Pablo
Fucking
Escobar?
nerd.
You heard of a little
Fucking
guy
nerd.
named Pablo Escobar?
Little as in
have.
stature? Yeah. He's
Yeah,
a little guy.
known.
He was a little, like, physically, he's a small person.
This is on
so
my
Pablo
honorable mentions
Escobar-
list, so I'm very glad that you're talking about it, Zach.
For those who don't know, Pablo Escobar was a Colombian drug lord. He pretty much ran like the world market of cocaine
He was 5'6".
a few years. And
Are you short shaming right now?
No,
I know, I
I'm just
can't
saying, he
believe
said
it.
he's a little known guy. He's also a little guy.
Oh, little known guy.
This is just facts.
Stupid. Yeah,
he was one of the richest people in the world, who just entirely because he was like the kingpin of all cocaine distribution. Real piece of shit. But anyway, in December 1993, he was shot to death in his compound, and the people who then shot him noticed that he had 4 hippopotamuses, and they were like, I'm not going to deal with that. And they just let the hippos loose.
So
The
terrible.
hippos-
Why would you
The
do that?
hippos, because hippos are fucking scary.
Yeah, I know,
they're
but
the-
like, yeah, so you're like, let's let these 4 extremely dangerous animals loose.
And so they went off into the jungle, and now they
Nothing's
live in
gonna
the
be able
rivers,
to kill them.
And they have proceeded to reproduce, and now there's about 100 of them. And every once in a while, the Colombian government will try to cull them or sterilize them, and they have varying levels of success. But ultimately, there are now 100 hippopotamuses living in the jungle in Colombia. And isn't that great?
Absolutely wild. Really
And so
interesting
that happened in 1993.
population study, you know?
Yeah, right.
I like it.
My thought is I didn't realize that they came from only 4 hippopotamuses. So like, how much incest is involved in this population?
Probably
And what
a
are their
fair
genes
amount.
like?
Much.
Because I wonder how related they may have been to begin with. I don't know.
So
Yeah.
much.
The world's most inbred population of hippopotamuses.
Hey, that's what you get when you deal with Pablo Escobar, okay?
That's what you get
Yeah.
when you just fucking let hippos go in the jungle. Like, wow.
And that's
Right, Bo?
the end of 1993. He died on December 2nd, so that's 30 days, and they released those things, and that became a 1993 staple.
Yeah.
Right at the end.
Hey, it happened before the end of 1993. I'm counting it.
It counts.
It counts. It counts 100%.
Bo, what's your next one?
Okay, well, so we'll go to the worldwide world. You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
Sports, baby.
Sports, baby. And I'm going to make sure I didn't write there we go. In September 4th, 1993, New York Yankees pitcher Jim Abbott threw a no-hitter. But the crazy thing about Jim throwing that no-hitter, he only has one hand.
Oh, I heard about this.
Oh.
He's the one-handed guy.
So
That's cool.
he only has his left hand. So he did not let his disability enshrine, because that once you throw a no-hitter, you're enshrined to the Hall of Fame. Like, that is a Hall of Fame moment, right? So that Jim throwing a no-hitter with one hand, nice.
That's rad.
That's pretty sweet.
The cool thing, so
Jim Abbott,
what
right?
he would do, Jim Abbott, yeah. So what he would do is how he threw his pitch, right? He would tuck his glove under his right arm, throw, then immediately go in defensive position by sliding his left arm into the glove and go boom.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah,
That's fucking
That's
awesome.
great.
That's so cool.
and it's a
Now-
Yankee, so I'm happy about that.
How long did he play for?
Boo, Yankees, boo.
He played for 11 major league seasons.
That's pretty effing good for a guy with one hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Like,
wasn't the best, but
Eh.
he had that one feet, and he
No,
defied
hand,
all
not
odds
feet.
by being
He had 2 feet.
little guy. Finding all odds by being a one-handed, basically not a full able-bodied person to pitch professionally.
Wow,
Yeah,
you
he's
said
the
he was,
Rick Allen of baseball.
Sure.
That's
who
so
is
cool.
the famously one-armed drummer of Def Leppard.
I'm trying to find out how tall this guy was.
Why are you obsessed with how tall everybody is?
He said he was a little guy.
No, I just said that I was just going to a throwback joke. You know what I do.
He
What's
was
your
basically-
next one?
He's
he
a
was
little
not-
guy.
he was not a
He's
little
a
guy.
little guy.
What's your next one, Andrew?
Oh, he's such a little guy.
He's not a little guy. He was 6'3". He's as tall as me and Bo are.
Very tall.
Yeah.
And almost Zach's real close. It's right there.
Mhm.
Let's see. In 1993, let me tell you guys something.
Tell us.
Tell me about it.
March
Stud.
1993, the first ever Pentium processor was announced that paved the way for computer chips worldwide. Everything uses a computer chip.
I thought that you were going to put this on your list. I saw it when I was looking at stuff, and I was like, I bet you Andrew's going to say that.
If you think of the most important things that happened, I think this is definitely up there.
It goes
Because
right along with the
everything
internet.
uses a
Can't
computer
have
chip.
the computers without internets. Can't have the internets without computers.
Smart bulbs, smart cars, every phone, every TV, every monitor you have, pretty much everything you have that is cool uses a computer chip in it. And this was one of the first that like blew shit out of the water, like microprocessor.
The Pentium inspired one of Weird Al's best song parodies. It's all about the Pentiums, baby.
Heck yeah. I love all my stuff that uses computer
got the
chips.
clocks, it rocks, but it was
Me too.
obsolete before I opened the bar.
Right, you got to stop.
Do y'all remember the game Trips Challenge?
Why'd you stop?
Yes.
It's on a roll.
It's not
I
from
remember that.
1993, but it was good, and you need a computer chip to use it. That's not true.
That's awesome. Okay, well, since Ash got skipped this round, Ash, what was your number 3?
My number 3, Black Sunday by Cypress Hill. Just a great
It's a
album.
good album.
Amazing staying power. I listened to it even before it was. It's got Insane in the Membrane.
Oh, okay.
It's got
That's why.
Hits from
That's
the
why I knew that.
Bong.
Oh, okay.
It's hits from the ball. It's a great album.
I listened to it even before I was a stoner. And with their previous album, Cypress Hill, their previous album was still on the chart. Still on the chart. So they became the first hip hop group ever to have 2 albums in the top 10 of the US Billboard 200 at the same time. The album went 4
That's
times
pretty
platinum in the US, sold 3.4 million copies.
And that was the last thing they ever did.
Going on a win, I guess.
They were on The Simpsons a few years after that, right?
Well, speaking of that, can I jump in
And
then?
the okay.
Go finish. Finish.
And fun fact, the sound in Insane in the Membrane, the like, it's the sound of a horse neighing, and it's just like sped up.
I love it.
Love it.
I imagine they all went to the country, and as you do,
Mhm.
with your rap
Yeah.
with your rap cronies, you go out to the country and have a little yeehaw time. And one of them was like, "Hey, you know what? That horse can be a star, right?
Yeah.
That horse got moxie."
You want to be a star horse? Get on in here.
Haha, you all believe me. That's just a pervasive rumor. It's not actually true.
Oh my God, why would you do that?
I wish it was.
Now that we said that, now it's truth. So like, it'd be like, hey, horse, get over here. They all spoke with transatlantic accents, as you do.
The rap lingo was just a show, a put on,
They're like, get over here.
But in
1950s gangsters.
In 1993, it was before they confirmed that it was not a horse. So if you lived in 1993, there's no way of knowing for sure if it was or was not a horse.
I'm insane in the brain.
And 7 years later, there would be multiple horses sampled on Since I Left You by the Avalanches, one of the best albums to be made entirely of samples.
In 1993?
Cool.
No, in 2000.
Okay, so why'd you bring it up? Please.
It's a really good album, though.
Let's switch up the order and go to Bo. That's what I was going to say.
All right, so Zach already mentioned it. So my Simpsons thing, it happened to be my favorite season. When I ever restart while watching The Simpsons, I don't do 1, 2, 3, or 4. I start at season 5, which was released in 93. And I consider that hands down the best season of The Simpsons.
Like, it's just, you think it's the funniest?
I think it's the funniest. I think every joke hits. Like, it starts off with Homer's the barbershop quartet. Love that episode.
It's a great episode.
You got Homer going to college. He hangs out with the nerds. It's just a parody of National Lampoon's Animal House, basically. It's
got the episode with Die Bart Die. That's German for the Bart the.
The Bart D. Fucking great joke. Homer goes to space with the alarm with Buzz Aldrin.
That's like Armstrong. Peak Simpsons. Like
Bart
season 5.
Bart gets an elephant. Oh, he's fucking great. Fucking, I love it too much. I love it.
In researching this episode, Zach said to me, I could do this episode just on Simpsons episodes that came out in 1993.
It's my favorite season. I think I was listening to one podcast. They were doing a debate, like, what's the favorite season? They all said 5, 6, and 7. I'm like, 5's the best. 5 is the only best. I love it. They did the Rosebud parody with Mr. Burns' bear Bobo. I love it because his name's Bo.
Oh my God.
Awesome. So, Zach, what's your number 3?
This is where I put Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park!
Holy freaking crap, it's a dinosaur. Da, da, da.
I didn't want to be like, because if I figured that everybody would probably, like, I don't know, Jurassic Park is just, like, objectively one of the best things to happen in 1993. So I figured that somebody would probably put it, but I figured that everybody would assume that somebody else was going to put it and that nobody else was going to put it because
that's exactly what happened. 100%.
So I figured I would take one for the team and make sure that we talk about Jurassic Park because goddamn, this movie fucking rips. What a great goddamn
It's so good.
movie.
It should be you to talk about it, Zach. Dinosaurs, movies,
were you part of a fan
practical
club?
Effects, CGI effects.
Funny thing about that movie, I couldn't watch that movie until my late 20s because when I watched it when I was 10 years old, I first time watched it.
That's like a few years ago.
It gave me nightmares.
Oh,
as a kid, every time a single scene would be on TV, I'd get a nightmare that
Which
night
one?
of a T-Rex
Is
chasing me.
The kitchen.
Is it the T-Rex part or is it the kitchen part?
No, it's just regardless. There's a T-Rex after any time a Jurassic Park was on TV for a second. I was just afraid of dinosaurs.
But Bo watched The Land Before Time too, and it fucked him up.
It did. That and Jurassic Park, just stay away from.
And that show, The Dinosaurs from the 90s, oh yeah, it fucked him up bad.
Oh, I was fucked. They were all weird.
With those scary ass puppets.
Yeah, I'm the baby. Like, what the fuck? Get to kill it.
I don't remember being exposed to Jurassic Park before. I think I was 14 watching it in freshman year science class. And I was like, this movie looks pretty cool. I should watch this. And then watched it later at some point.
Yeah, it's fucking great. It's an astonishing achievement in practical and computer effects. Like, in rewatching it, you always remember the CGI and like how revolutionary the CGI was. But there's surprisingly few CGI scenes in the entire movie. And so much of it is just really, really well done puppetry. And the CGI blends together with the puppetry so seamlessly that it makes both of them feel realer than they really are. And it's just like, I don't know, Steven Spielberg his skill for like setting scenes like that and directing these sorts of things is really just unparalleled. And Jurassic Park is kind of just showing him.
Why don't you marry him?
Most...
Jeez.
Well, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that he's done more recently has been too safe. It hasn't really actually been that interesting. I would probably say that Spielberg peaked with Jurassic Park, although Schindler's List came out later that year. And so it's like
You're gonna say Jurassic Park's better than Schindler's List.
It's a more enjoyable movie.
More fun.
That's for goddamn
More
sure.
fun.
Okay. that I can get.
I mean, Saving Private Ryan was pretty good too, but that was like 1998. I don't really know if I could point to any like really great Spielberg movies since like 2000, except
But with those goddamn dinosaurs.
Can I point something out?
Movie was pretty
real
good,
quick?
and then I never saw Lincoln, but I heard Lincoln was good. What?
Bo said he had nightmares from watching Jurassic Park, but he didn't say he had nightmares from watching Schindler's List. So,
Oh no! Well, the funny thing is, nope.
Funny thing is, I've never seen
Bo, you're gonna
Schindler's
get this
List.
podcast canceled.
The funny thing.
He didn't say it. He's safe for now.
But yeah, I could totally blow this movie for like an entire podcast. I would. The last thing that I'll say is that anybody who likes the movie should also read the book, because while the movie is really great as a movie, it's actually it's a pretty bad adaptation of the book. And I say that in the terms of like they're both good, but like the book has I don't know, it's gorier. It's got a lot of scenes that were cut that ended up into the second and third movies as well. Like there's a whole part with pterodactyls that just gets completely cut out of the movie. There's like a lot of characters who survive in the movie die in the book, and just, you know,
Spoilers.
Hammond, like John Hammond was like a completely different character in the book as well. They're very different approaches to the same story. So I really recommend reading the book as well.
So that goes back to, hey, here's a book that's really good. Let's change it and make it all Hollywoody. And that's all cool. And it worked once. And now they've been trying to do that shit ever since, and it has never worked.
I mean, they've been making movies based on books ever since.
Risks.
Yeah.
Forever.
What's your next one? We can't. Let's. I mean, you can't talk about stuff from 1993 and not talk about Jurassic Park, but you can't spend the whole time talking about Jurassic Park.
I'm gonna. I'll bring forward my media one.
Yeah, bring it forward. Bring it closer. Bring it closer.
One of the rare sequels that was, in my opinion, miles better than the original movie came out in 1993. Would anyone like to guess?
The Brave Little Toaster.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Wayne's World 2 was released in 1993. And I think that movie is genuinely better than the first one. It is so good. Chris Farley is in it.
Chris Farley's in the first one.
He's also in the second one, and he's great. And it's all about making Wayne Stock, the music festival he wants to do. And while Wayne's World number 1 has the classic, Bohemian Rhapsody shit, it's great. It's great. All across the board, it's great. This movie as a movie, though, was funnier in my opinion.
I haven't seen Wayne's World 2 in forever. I actually watched Wayne's World 1 like last weekend. I don't remember much about Wayne's World 2.
Round it out this weekend, baby.
Have I ever seen it?
My opinion of it is that it's not as good as the first one, but I'll have to revisit it now that you've sang to its praises.
I think it's great.
We need more Mike Myers movies.
Mike Myers.
What the hell happened to Mike Myers?
He put out the Pentaveret on Netflix last year, and it was fucking phenomenal.
That was great. But prior to that, like it was like nothing.
Yeah, I will say
the man was hard at work for so long. Let him rest.
Give him a break.
No,
he pumped out classic after classic
for my entertainment.
After The Love Guru, he needed to take a break, and I understand that. But other than that, everything else he made fucking slapped.
Yeah, I know. It's ostensibly it's a Mike Myers vehicle, but I feel like Dana Carvey really steals the show in most of their scenes together. Like
I think they just work well with each other.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other.
They have really great chemistry. And it's one thing that you really have to give Mike Myers credit for is casting Tia Carrere in these movies as like the romantic lead, because how often do you get a badass Asian woman as the romantic lead in a comedy movie in the early 90s? That was a very progressive move, and we can applaud him for it.
Yeah, and she's very attractive.
That's also objectively true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of needing one without the other, I'm going to move down to my number 2 then, and we're going to reverse the order here. My number 2 in 1993. These are 2 food items that came out, and I don't think you can have one without the other, just as you would have Mike Myers without Dana Carvey. In 1993, number 1, Hershey's Cookies and Cream bar was released.
That's the white chocolate one, right?
I like those.
World's
and I'm
better
not going to
without
pretend that I don't. It's white chocolate with little cookie crumbles in there.
No,
it tastes like cookies and cream.
What's the other one?
I think it's fantastic. And you can't have one without the other. In 1993, Zima came out.
No, I definitely was not drinking Zima in 1993.
When I think of Hershey's cookies and cream being puked up after throwing down a few Zimas, that's 1993, 100%.
You had a really weird being 5 years old.
Yeah, 5 years old. It was a rough time. There's a reason why I don't remember. Too many Zimas. All right, Ash, what do you got for us? What's your number 2?
My number 2 is going back to movies. A little movie called The Sandlot came out that I really loved when I was younger.
Oh, I fucking love that movie. Good call.
Yeah.
Great movie, inspirational tale, fun antics, nostalgia for a more simple time. It apparently was not originally intended to be a baseball movie when it was first written,
What?
and then
What were they going to call it?
What would it have been if not a baseball movie?
It was
Dirt Lot.
well, because the core of it is like a group of young boys growing up and like, you know, learning stuff about themselves in the world. It's just like a feel good tale. So like, oh, how better can we do that? Baseball, hey, and they have the kids
people together. Been saying that for years.
The inclusion of baseball as a character in the film, it really brings that extra level of nostalgia and like camaraderie. It's the gentleman's game. These kids, I just fucking love baseball.
Wait,
and this movie is
baseball is
really
a character?
good. I mean, you can argue it. The game of baseball,
Like a
it's
real
what draws
person
them all together.
named baseball?
It's like how the last character in Sex and the City is the city of New York. The last character in The Sandlot is
that's every
baseball.
romantic comedy in New York.
Yeah, they're always like, the city of New York is really a main character of our movie.
Yeah, Sleepless in Seattle. The city that never slept.
New York was a huge character in Sleepless in Seattle.
And they got James Earl Jones in this. Any movie with James Earl Jones is going to be good, right?
And there's a dog.
That's true.
Yeah.
Some person named Baby Ruth. Baby Ruth.
You know, so I actually I went to trivia as I do every week, and one of the answers was, what was Babe Ruth's first name? And I got it because I remembered this movie.
What was it?
George. Because I remember he was like, Babe Ruth, George something, Ruth. Herman? I don't remember the middle one, but when he was yelling at him about the Great Bambino.
The Great Bambino.
The Salt and the Swat, the King of Crash. The Colossus of Clout?
The Colossus of Clout.
All right, Sandlot Quote and Party. That's the rest of the episode. Fuck it.
Such a good movie. So good. I haven't watched it in a really long time. I would like to watch it again.
I assume it's great. Dennis Leary's in it. Come on.
Yes, Dennis Leary.
They all take dip. It's great, and they have a wild
throw
time at
up.
the carnival.
Who hasn't done
playing.
that?
Dude, when
man. That's funny.
And I read that the scene where they do dip and they get all sick off of it, it obviously was an actual dip because they're not going to do that to their actors. But apparently the concoction that they gave them was like banana and something was like also just really disgusting. And a bunch of them ended up barfing for real because it just tasted really bad.
Awesome. I would. I hate banana, so I get it. Bo, what's your number 2?
All right. Well, do I stick with the theme or do I throw it left curve?
You got 2 left, baby. You got 2 left.
Okay, the next one is number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take a movie then. Still, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh.
Not before, yeah. Yeah.
A classic. So many people love that
classic.
movie.
Yeah.
Henry Selick.
Me. I'm in the movie. You guys know that? Child star.
Wow.
No, I love that movie.
Who did you play, Bo?
Freaked me out. What?
Who did you play in the movie?
Oh, I was Jack Skellington. You guys didn't know? But the awesome one. I was young Jack Skellington, but they cut the part from the movie.
This
It was
is Halloween. This is Halloween.
I was baby Jack Skellington, but they cut that part.
Rip.
My mom's still mad to this day. No, what a classic, weird, fucking Tim Burton fucking movie.
Yeah, inspiring a creepy generation anew.
And it was a Disney movie.
Yeah.
On top of all that,
so many goth girls have tattoos of them on their bodies.
That's their identity now.
Just thirsting over a skeleton man who sings.
Oh,
girls can't resist a tenor. You know, doesn't matter if he's got skin.
And Danny Elfman is a great composer himself too.
I am
the theme song of The Simpsons.
Face. Like that shit's scary.
Danny Elfman, what a guy!
Danny Elfman gets around. He's done a lot of good shit. Let's applaud for Danny Elfman. Like he's never got one before. Let's give it to him. Oingo boingo.
I don't know if we should be giving it up for Danny Elfman. He's currently battling allegations.
Let's not give it up for Danny Elfman.
Let's see what the court says first before we give it up.
Then we'll give it up for Danny Elfman. Wow, I just looked up what Danny Elfman looks like. He looks crazy.
I don't really know who this is. Who you're talking about?
Danny Elfman.
I do not think I've seen Nightmare Before Christmas.
You've never
it's
seen it?
Meatloaf. You're in a Meatloaf fan club, but you've never seen Nightmare Before Christmas.
I'm pretty sure that I saw it as a kid, but I have not seen it since then.
The animation is cool.
Episode. I want an episode of just Zach. I just want one episode of just you just spouting everything about yourself. Let you talk about you and everything that's been scorned.
Yeah, we won't even show up. Like, you could just go.
I just want to sit back and listen to Zach talk about Zach's childhood, adulthood, and everything in between.
And Bo's going to listen to it at night before he goes to sleep.
Yeah. You fascinate me sometimes.
Speaking of Zach fascination, Zach, what's your number two, baby?
Number 2, baby?
My number 2 is season 4, episode 12 of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
So
I'd say that's considered considered an overlap with Bo's, though.
It is, but also because Bo's talking about season 5. I'm specifically talking about season 4, episode 12, aired January 14th, 1993.
Give me the title.
It is Marge versus the Monorail.
Oh, yeah, classic.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely 100% know what this is, and I've seen so much of The Simpsons.
I rewatched this episode earlier today just to make sure that I wasn't going to be talking out of my ass saying that it is legitimately one of my favorite episodes of the series.
I consider it the best episode of all fucking time of The Simpsons.
It has so many classic bits.
But it's not in season 5, though.
I wasn't even thinking about, like...
But still, I still consider...
It's got special accommodations.
Obviously, all the monorail stuff is hilarious. The monorail song is great, but then it's got like so many one-off lines that have become incredible classics, like the snrub thing, or when they show the file photo of Homer and it's just him with like 40 cigarettes in his mouth.
I love all the file photos they always use on people.
It's got the kids can call you Hoju in it.
Yes.
It's Phil Hartman. I mean, Phil Hartman's done 1,000 phenomenal voices, but like Lyle Landley is one of his best because he's basically playing Howard Hill from The Music Man. Or Harold
Leonard
Hill.
Nimoy's in it.
Leonard Nimoy's in it. It's got the closet full of opossums. I call the big one Bitey.
I call the big one Bitey. I'm gonna watch it after this. I got it. It's a great episode. Do you know who wrote the episode?
No, who wrote it?
Conan O'Brien.
Nice.
Fun fact for all you out there too.
Yeah, he's written a lot of the really great episodes. I know.
So speaking of Conan O'Brien, should we throw out some honorable mentions right now before we get to our number ones?
Did Bo do his number 2?
Did everyone?
Yeah, I did my number 2.
Oh, okay.
Nightmare.
Oh,
okay.
right. Duh. Yeah, let's do our honorable mentions before getting to number 1.
So, speaking of Conan O'Brien was announced as the successor to what's his name? David Letterman in 1993.
To Jay Leno. That's not right.
Yeah, that was later.
Mortal Kombat was released on home consoles, or you want to do that too? Mortal Kombat 2 was released. The first major releases of.
I love those games.
That
I haven't.
It came out in 92 first on the arcade only. Then 93 it came to home.
Oh,
okay,
nice.
That counts.
Nice.
That counts.
I like it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I have an honorable mention, but I want it might be someone's number 1, so I'm not going to say it till the very, very end.
Is it Boy Meets World? That's another one I had.
I would note that one of my favorite toys came out, which was a flying alien queen, which had these like spring-loaded claws, and I got it a couple of years later at a church tag sale. I got it a couple of years later at a church tag sale. It had these wings with like a button you could push to flap them. It was very cool. I was too young to have it, but I loved it, and I got rid of it for some reason. I don't remember what, but it makes me very sad.
It was so specific.
The second edition of Warhammer 40,000 was released.
I was wondering if Warhammer was going to be on any of these.
The Rogue Trader came out in 1987, but this was the first like box set for a new edition that had like a full army in the box. So this was what kind of made it become like
Give me the Zach podcast.
Main
what it is today.
Popularity. I didn't get into Warhammer until the 2010s, so I don't have any experience with it, which is why I didn't end up on my list. But it introduced these really great classic Space Marine models that I actually might buy a sprue of on eBay right now because they're pretty sweet. But Warhammer 2nd edition. Jeff Taylor artwork on the box is just so retro and choice. I love it. And the old orc boys in that box set are really great as well.
Ash, what do you got?
Zach, do you have any more?
Houdini by the Melvins is a great album that came out.
I had more too. I thought it was just giving me a chance to.
Oh, okay.
Rhythm is a Dancer came out, which is another great song.
Trying to break it up in between,
okay.
Just listen to things.
I have some
Tombstone, the movie Tombstone came out.
Oh my god.
Those are all my honorable mentions.
I took my first steps.
It's really hard for me to narrow it down to 5. Sorry, say that
I
again.
went from a person who could not walk to a person who could walk in 1993. That's pretty cool.
Who?
And you just been walking ever since.
Me.
Oh, you. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, me. We had the first female attorney general named Janet Reno.
Way to bring
Janet
gender
Reno.
into this.
The X-Files came out. Zach and I just started watching that in its 30th year. A really funny thing, my last one, going back to the whole pervasive rumor thing, something called Hairgate happened in 1993 with President Bill Clinton.
Okay, hold on. Let's wildly speculate.
Standards gate.
Wildly speculate this. Bo, go ahead.
It was let's just say no. Okay. It has something.
He just talked himself out of something right there.
It just happened to do something with hair, but not up there, but down there.
You're thinking pube situation.
Classic Slick Willy. Yep.
He was filmed eating a sandwich at a PR thing. He's like, "Oh, sandwich is good," and he took a bite of it, and there was clearly like a really long hair in it that he like when he pulled the sandwich away, but he still slurped it down. That's my idea of Hairgate.
Okay.
I just imagine that it was probably, knowing what the world was like in the early 90s, probably just Bill Clinton showing up to some political event, and his hair was not in one of the 3 preordained acceptable styles for adult men.
None of you are correct. He received a haircut on his plane. And it was reported at the time that it was the most expensive haircut in the entire world, because it was over a $200 haircut from his professional hired hairstylist from Beverly Hills, and it shut down the airport for 2 hours, and planes were diverted, and planes had to circle overhead to wait while the president got his haircut before he left on his plane.
They couldn't cut it on the plane while he was flying?
That seems dangerous.
Turbulence, Andrew. Turbulence.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I assume that plane doesn't have turbulence because it's for the president.
But in reality, it was fine. He just got his haircut. Sometimes as the president, you just have to get your haircut at weird times. There was one unscheduled flight that was delayed for 2 minutes, presumably from the car of the hairstylist.
9/11.
That was coming onto the plane, and he got his haircut and he left, and that was that. But it was sensationalism by Republicans who hated him. They wanted to slander him, so they made up this story about Hairgate.
Republicans?
And people believed it. It was a widespread rumor for many, many, many years.
I've never known a Republican to do that. I couldn't even say
Remember
that
when
laughing.
Obama showed up in a tan suit?
And people lost their goddamn minds.
Because he looked like a fucking G.
Oh, President Kennedy looked that cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Let's see. My last honorable mention was... I'm not going to say it. I think I may have chosen one of your finals, so I'm not going to take your one.
Go ahead. Go ahead, an honorable mention, right?
We could do our one.
But what do you got for number one?
The Cranberries albums. Everybody else is doing it, so why can't we? Has one of my favorite songs on there, "Linger" from the Cranberries.
That's a great song.
I fucking
really
love
good
Doris.
Song.
She's a fucking great singer, and I'm T's and P's to her, but she was great.
Respect.
And Dreams too, I guess.
But
Linger was
It
better.
sounded like you
Good
said
number
rest
one.
in pieces.
That was my number one. That was the last one I don't mention.
Oh, what's your number one?
Yeah, let's start with number one. Let's do a drum roll.
Bo's number one is...
May 7th, 1991, me turning 2 years old.
Yeah, buddy.
Did you say 1991?
Terrible twos. Here comes Bo.
No.
You said 1991.
I did. My bad. Terrible twos.
It's fine.
Bo entering his terrible twos. What was he like back then? A weirdo, that's for sure. And still am to this day. Hey, everyone, give it from my mom. She put up a lot with me.
He never truly left the terrible twos. He just embraced it, you know.
No, it happens every time.
The same.
There's a 2. So it was when he was 2. It was and then he was good until he was 12. And then, 20 comes around every time there's a 2.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Can we find photos of ourselves from 1993 to use as the picture to post on social media?
I would probably not be able to do that.
I forgot to text my mom. I was like, because I was gonna do the stuff like that. I'm like, Mom, how much did I weigh and stuff like that? I wanted to give like a whole breakdown of me at the age of 2.
She's like, you were just a chunk or something.
30
fat
pounds,
fucking baby.
2 feet tall.
Fun fact about me. I was actually pretty fucking ugly baby. I was born with old man hair, so I had a bald spot on top.
Oh, just like now.
Cross.
He came out. The doctor's like, "That is an ugly baby."
He just came out, and the doctor's like, "Oh."
I was also cross-eyed.
Oh.
And I was born with 2 teeth.
Oh. I hate that, actually. That's disgusting.
I don't really think about babies, but I feel like that's weird.
Yeah, usually they're born with none. And they don't have any for a long time.
And the 2 teeth
stayed in there too long.
Where whatever the vampire teeth were.
Oh shit!
Oh my God, Bill's a vampire. Confirmed, he's an old vampire. He's an old bald vampire.
Like, hello,
It explains a lot more. I was born a month premature.
Wait, and you still had teeth?
What?
So you excel.
If anything, I would have said you were born at 10 months at the very earliest.
Is that just something that your parents told you to make you feel special? You came out with full teeth.
I'll find photos.
You're a big special boy. You're cross-eyed and your teeth and your bald spot. You're a beautiful baby boy.
I was pride and joy.
I was the definition of a face only a mother can love.
She had to. It's the law. Well, you know what? That was great. I like that. Tell you what. Let's move on to Ash. What's your number 1? Let's hit it.
A little known program. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy came out on Syndicate in 1993. I, you know what? I will go as far as crediting Bill Nye with my love of science and learning. And it was like the best thing. It like piqued my interest about the world around me and how it works. And I'm not the most like scientifically minded in terms of like physics or chemistry, but like that fun educational learning content. I was so into it. I learned so much. I love learning even to this day. When the teacher would roll in that TV and Bill started on that friggin' TV.
Yeah.
And you're like,
get the giant strap on it so like no one would knock it over.
It was locked down.
Bill Nye,
ready,
the
baby.
Science Guy.
We had a Bill Nye CD-ROM game that was called like Stop the Rock, and it was one of those like point and click adventure games where you had to go through Bill Nye's. It was
Stop
like
him from acting.
It was like an asteroid that was going to hit the planet, and so you had to like go around Bill Nye's lab and figure out how to stop the asteroid. But I don't think my sister and I could ever figure it out because we were like 5, 6 idiot kids.
Zach's sister, why didn't you figure it out? You're supposed to be the smart one.
Yeah, what the hell, Sarah?
Sarah.
But Bill Nye didn't come out on PBS until 1994, but it aired on a different channel called Syndicate in 1993.
Does that just mean syndication, or?
Oh, maybe.
It was literally a channel called Syndicate.
I don't know. I didn't look into it that much.
Live fact checking coming right now. I don't know.
Should I
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Are we keeping this silence in the final?
So the pilot episodes were 1991, but season 1 officially started in 1993. Yeah. You're good.
Yeah, I checked. I made sure.
Yeah, so technically the first season started.
Was it?
I'm sorry. He's fact checking.
He didn't even fact check the right thing. The right thing is where did it air?
Oh, on syndication, broadcast syndication.
On syndication.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we're figuring out. Not that you're the one who finds extra
fact
facts.
checks go all the way, motherfucker.
You're a piece of shit for that.
I know. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Someone has to be.
This has gotten too aggressive.
Yeah, you piece of shit. Hey, Zach, you piece of shit. What's your number 1?
Yeah, you piece of shit. Tell us what you think the number 1 thing is in 1993. You piece of shit.
Yeah, my number 1 thing for 1993. This is based entirely on nostalgia, but Bo said that he turned 2, so like
you don't have to justify your answer. It's your answer. Just say it.
Again, okay. I did in no particular order.
My number 1 thing of 1993 is the Transformers Generation 2 mini Autobots line. Specifically Sea Spray and Beachcomber. Yeah,
the mini ones are the ones that attach to them, right? Attach the mini Autobots?
No, those are mini cons. Those came out like 10 years later.
Sorry.
These are just little tiny.
I'm sorry.
Bo, you fucking
Autobots.
idiot! You're embarrassing yourself right now.
Oh my!
I have these 2 of them on my desk right now, and these are the ones that I had when I was a kid. And I don't remember which. I think that the Beachcomber is he's a little like dune buggy who turns into a little robot man. And it's really cool because this line had these like metallic colored like chrome parts to it. So he's got these like chromed out green highlights to him, which are super cool. And he's small. He's like 2 or 3 inches long. This is a little guy. And I got him because I think I got him as a present from my parents for completing an entire game of youth soccer without like sitting down on the sidelines and stopping paying attention to the
That's
game.
the most on-brand shit I've ever heard in my life. Oh my god!
Now do you understand why I need that podcast?
And then I
Like,
have
good job
this-
standing up, sweetie. Here's a toy.
Well, I got in trouble because like I would go to soccer games and then I would just sit on this like I'd go onto the field and I'd just like sit down
so
and like
funny.
play with like the little barricades or like rip up grass or
You said,
whatever. just not
fine,
pay
I will
attention to the game.
engage in your barbaric game, but you have to buy me fun trinkets afterward.
Yes, I require a transformer. And then Sea Spray is like a hovercraft, like a water boat.
I like how
situation,
this has
a
become show
propeller
and
boat.
tell.
With these really
I like
cool
this one.
blue
It's
chrome
chrome
parts.
and it's a hovercraft, and I really like it. And I got it because I played soccer.
I play
This
it
one
in
I
the
got-
bathtub, and it goes.
This one I also got because I behaved myself somewhere where I needed to behave myself.
Your parents and
Moral
They
of the
found
story.
something that worked and they ran with it.
Honestly, like
Yeah.
they're like ADHD medication does not exist yet. This is what we have to do.
And they're little tiny ones, so they were probably cheap. So it worked
That's
out.
so funny.
And so those are my number one thing.
And
of
you
1993.
appreciated them because you still own them.
I still have them. I love them. They're on my desk.
Because
You
you
know,
will
respect
never
on that
throw
one,
anything
'cause-
away.
One, that, but two, like how many of us can say that we have things from 1993 on our person?
I have something from
I'm a zero.
1992. Hey,
I have myself.
we all have that, Bo. We're all here right
We
now.
all have you,
Okay,
Bo.
there we go.
We all have a
All
little
right.
bow inside of all of us.
All right, Andrew. Hit us with your number one / your honorable mention since it doesn't
All
seem
right,
like
so,
anyone said
yeah.
it.
Honorable mention, yeah, I thought one of you guys was going to call this one out. I thought it would be someone's number one. So the honorable mention first for number one, Rocco's Modern Life, September
Oh my God, Rocco's Modern
18th,
Life!
1993.
Yeah.
Really good.
Really good
Oh,
shit. That was awesome. It was hard not to put that in my top 5 because it's great.
Yeah, it was really good. That would have been hard for me as well if I knew that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But the number one for Andrew, it's the most, again, on-brand shit you would ever hear. October 8th, 1993. Quack. Quack. Quack.
I was going to
Quack.
ask if it had
Oh
something to do with
Quack.
the Ducks.
Quack. Anaheim Ducks' first ever game at the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim. The pre-game was laden with Disney stuff. It was terrible. If you ever want to laugh, look that up because it's fucking crazy. It's pretty much Disney on ice for 20 goddamn minutes. And then the Ducks finally came out, the NHL's first team in Anaheim, right next to Disneyland, and they got fucking smoked 7-2 by the Detroit Red Wings. But you know what? That paved the way for a lot of me because the Ducks have been my favorite team through so many highs, so many lows, winning the Stanley Cup and being in dead last this season. I love them to death, and 30 years of greatness.
Quack,
Those are
I
my-
saw this
quack,
when I was
quack,
researching
quack.
and I was like, if this doesn't show up on Andrew's list somewhere, I'm going to be astonished.
If I didn't, my wife would have left me. 100%.
You gotta.
Because we
Oh,
met
yeah,
at
what
that
are
we
her
met at
favorite
that
things from
stadium,
that?
so she's yeah.
Aww.
Everybody listening, tell us your favorite things from 1993. Send us messages
Yeah.
on Instagram. Send us an email. getdumpedonpodcast@gmail.com.
And tell us if Bo shows up, baby Bo shows up as a sleep paralysis demon tonight after you listen to this.
Aha,
With his vampire teeth
The
and his
vampire
crossed
eyes.
man cross-eyed.
This was great. This is a nice little reminiscing episode about things. It was a little bit dump, a little bit fun time, a little
Jump.
bit reminiscing.
Oh,
I don't know
Yeah.
if
I
there's any
had a
chumps in
really
this
great
episode. It's
time.
pretty good. It was a good one.
Tell me what your favorite Transformer is and what your favorite retro Warhammer 40,000 model.
My favorite
Justin's
Transformer.
Mom. Tell me about Justin in '93.
Yeah, my favorite Transformer is definitely Jerry.
Jerry.
David the dog is my. I don't watch Transformers.
That was when the animal Transformers.
My favorite
Digimon,
Warhammer
yeah.
is the
No, the Beast
psionic Cracoloid.
Cracaloid. Oh, one last thing, and I was really hoping it would be 1993, but Dunkaroos came out in 1992, so it didn't make the
Hey.
cut. Sorry,
I also
Dunkaroos.
came out in
down.
1992. Hey.
And it wasn't as ugly as Bo.
And Bo, Beast Wars didn't start until 1996.
Oh my god, I was making a joke, you fucking
Oh
nerd.
my god, fact checking. Now who's the
This
fact
is
checker?
the
All right.
episode of fact checking.
Ash,
I mean,
take us out of here.
hey, thank you so much for listening to this episode.
Why do you say
welcome.
hey again? It's the end.
It was more like hey now, hey now. Thank
You're
you
an
for
all-star.
listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed listening to all of the things that came out 30 years ago in 1993 in honor of our 30th episode doing this podcast. Wow, we've been doing this episode for 30 or this podcast for 30 episodes.
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. We've been doing this for so goddamn long.
That's a long time. I'm really proud of us. I hope that everyone has had fun coming along. We're going to keep doing it. Like I said, tell us your favorite things from 1993. We'd love to hear it. Yeah. And I hope wherever you are, you're having a great day or a good night. And thank you. Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Yeah, we're
leaving. We're out.
Ash and Zach are super smart. They went to college and learned a bunch of stuff. And Bo and Andrew didn't go to college because that's the way life goes sometimes. What happens when you put them together and you try to make them learn? Grab your friends, let's listen together on Get Dumped on an Info Dump podcast.
Yeah, Bo, do you have anything else left to say, Bo? You got anything? Wasn't there something you said you were gonna say at the end when we were all done? You're gonna sing a song, right?
Oh, yeah. I will do anything for love, but I won't do that.
That's beautiful.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.